Hi, Feral Big Dog again. This time, I'd like to present what can I call this? A law that should be made. I think we should look at it closely, and I know everybody's not going to agree with me on it, but there should be things you do agree with. It's something that, as unlikely as it may be, we still need to present it to our senators. See if we can get it on the table, get them talking about it. It might help prevent a revolution if it would manage to make it into the Senate and then into the House, or whatever the legislative process is. And I'm going to be using my mom's laptop here because our printer's out of ink and my handwriting is extremely bad. I'm going to call this law, and it may need to be something that another amendment to the Constitution. I don't know. I'm not it's obvious I'm not a legal scholar. But I think it does have a good point. Agree or disagree, here we go. I'm calling this the Violation of Oath of Office Act of 2013. Why not? Upon the gathering of X amount of signatures, let's say 100,000 per state, or better yet, per country, this country obviously, 100,000 signatures gathered in this country for the highest level, maybe 10,000 for a local, or 10,000 per state too. Signatures against any politician in office or no longer in office. Don't let anybody off the hook. Let's see, where was I? In office or no longer in office for a charge of the people in signatures. Let me back that a bit. For a charge that the people, you, me, bring against this corrupt politician. Let's say Pelosi, Feinstein, Reid, who else? Bloomberg, Cuomo, the imposter-in-chief, and the reason why the Congress has yet to do anything to him, that being Biden, Hillary Clinton, just to name some. Oh, and Diane DeGette, let's not forget that one. Said politician, or back up just a bit, is the people charged with treason. We charge these ones with treason, the ones I named, for example. Said politician is to be arrested by the sheriff of whatever area this politician is in. If they're in Washington, let a Washington sheriff, require a Washington sheriff to go and arrest him. And yes, that even includes the White House. We could even expand that to require the Secret Service. Actually, I think I wrote that in here. Said politician is to be arrested, including but not limited to the President of the United States. So we get everybody. President, Vice President, I don't care. They are civil servants. They need to learn their role. And if it takes being arrested and convicted, if found guilty, obviously, because there is due process, then so be it. And they have committed treason. Let's see here. Arrested, including but not limited to the President of the United States, and tried in Congress for treason. Upon reaching a guilty verdict, should a guilty verdict be rendered, the penalty for treason be carried out as prescribed by Congress in the letter of the law. For any citizen that would be tried and convicted of treason. That just makes sense. I mean, they want to charge Edward Snowden when he's actually a hero. Why not charge someone who's actually done some harm to this country? And yeah, I know you're all going to be saying, oh, Edward Snowden's a traitor, Edward Snowden's a traitor. You know what? I'm going to tell you right now, shut your pie hole. Yeah, it's uncharacteristic of me to say that. I'm saying it anyway, shut your pie hole. It took guts for him to do what he did. He should get a medal. Anyway, let's continue. Let's see. Whatever that penalty might be. Should the charged politician be a lawmaker in the form of, let's say, governor or higher? We could even extend it to senators and congresspeople. Why not? Politician or lawmaker in the form of governor or higher. All acts signed into law by said governor or higher are to be rendered null and void according to this law should it be passed, and therefore unenforceable. That would mean Obamacare go bye-bye. Let's see, unenforceable. This applies to all executive orders as well. In this case, Obamacare is destroying this country. This country cannot afford it. And I know the liberals are saying that it's supposed to be this great thing that people will finally have medical care. Well, for one thing, they do have medical care. No hospital can turn you away if you need it. If your life is in danger, they cannot turn you away. It's the law, even for profit. And we seem to have grown accustomed to our creature comforts when we shouldn't have. We can live without television if it means paying the bill. Television, phones, going out to eat, and eating a whole lot of beans and rice. You can live that way. It's not comfortable, it's not fun, but you can live that way. And it's not that us conservatives are uncaring. We do want the sick to be able to see a doctor, to get medical care when they need it. We're just not focusing on this one part of it. We're looking at the entire picture. See, a lot of liberals, I'm not saying all, but a lot, just focus on this one little block, saying, oh, look at how nice this picture is. That's only a fraction. Step back and see the entire picture. See the whole thing. And you'll see that employers are cutting staff, cutting hours, cutting salaries, cutting wages. And Obamacare is costing an arm and a leg, and insurance companies are dropping people left and right because it doesn't match the ridiculous standard that Obamacare requires. It needs to go. It just flat out needs to go. There's got to be a better way. I don't know what that way is, but there's got to be a better way. Let's continue. Should Congress refuse to prosecute, it then becomes the right and necessity, the responsibility, the duty of the people to convene a governing body. And I think this law should require and permit it. Not just get a posse together. No, no, no. Do it by the book. Convene a lawful body. An interim government. I don't think it's that bad of a thing. It's not a government that's designed to take over. No, no, no. Just so that there is something there to hold those accountable. Because obviously our politicians have failed us. Congress will not impeach the president. The Senate will not impeach the president. They should, they won't. They impeach him, they find him guilty. Who's next in line? Biden. Who's after that? Hitler-y. And this country cannot afford either one of those two. Flat out, they have no business. I would not let any of them even serve me French fries. My apologies to those in the fast food industry. I mean you no disrespect. It's hard work. It's honest work. I'm making a statement. Get the idea. So again, it should be legal to form an interim government that will hold this government accountable and have the authority to do so. Authority to sentence as needed. Because it is we the people, not them the politicians, not them the overlords. to continue, right, responsibility of a sheriff to effect the arrest, even to arrest the president and vice president and down the line, with it becoming a felony to hinder said prosecution of any Secret Service agent or officer, calling for that person, Secret Service agent or officer, person or persons, to be arrested as well. The presiding judge must be selected by the people of an election and skilled in constitutional law, because the Constitution is the law of the land. How is this not common sense to all politicians? Should the commander-in-chief be arrested, the entire administration is to be suspended for an interim administration to be elected. Elected. Meaning we hold an election, it becomes a national thing, not just a fringe group. No, no, no. Have an interim government elected by you and me, everybody. Everybody who loves freedom and wants to preserve what our founding fathers fought and died for, what soldiers have given their lives and limbs for. We have brave men and women fighting and dying and getting hurt in this country all the time. And while it may have been considered illegal at the time, our founding fathers did break away from England. That's what the Revolutionary War was all about. If they could do that much for us, how could we not do any less than to fight to take back our government? Take back may be the wrong term, because it has been hijacked, but if we could just get these types out, the ones I've mentioned, get them out, get those who care about this country in office. Senators Ted Cruz and Mitch McConnell, Greg Ball. There's a whole range of people who care about this country. Trey Gowdy, Congressman Trey Gowdy, he would be, if you'll excuse my language, a damn good president. I would love to see a Rand Paul Trey Gowdy ticket in 2016. I would love it. Let's continue. Elected by the people, skilled in constitutional law, should the commander-in-chief, should this new administration, I must find out where I'm at. I really got to format my things better. Elected. Okay, constitutional law. Here we go. Should the commander-in-chief be arrested, the entire administration is to be suspended for an interim government. Okay, we read that. This new administration is to be elected before the arrest of said politician, any politician, as to have a fluid transmission of power to maintain faith in leadership. We don't want this country getting off track. We need someone who's going to step up and say, you know what, enough of this nonsense. The Constitution is law of the land. The people demand it. The people deserve it. And you oath breakers, you're out. You're on trial. And should you be convicted, which there is all the evidence in the world, look at Libya, Benghazi, Obamacare. You know what? I'm going to extend this to include the Supreme Court. Replace those on the Supreme Court. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, everyone. Clean slate. We could even call this the Clean Slate Act. How about that? I like it. Do you like it? Let me know. Let's see. Power to maintain faith in leadership. The qualifications for said interim administration politicians are as follows. meaning those that would step up and become the acting president, vice president, secretary of state, and so on and so forth. Whatever is needed just to maintain order until the next election or until we can have a new election for a full-fledged president. Here are the requirements that should be called for. 1. Be strongly for the Constitution and have a track record proving such. Again, Congressman Trey Gowdy, Senator Rand Paul. I would even say Mr. David Sardi. And yeah, I know what you might say, but he seems to be very constitutional. That's a good thing. A little bit odd sometimes, but who isn't? It's human. And Mr. Sardi, if you see this, no offense, sir. I mean you no offense. I actually think of that as a compliment. Let's see here. Be willing to sign into law, this is number 2, be willing to sign into law, even in the interim, laws that limit the power of government. One say, you know what, okay, the stuff is all getting stopped for now because we need to deal with some things. And we're not going to have all this nonsense like Obamacare and such running loose for who knows how long while we straighten things out, have these trials, and get this country straightened out. 3. Be elected by popular vote, not the Electoral College. Leave the Electoral College out of it. It has been hijacked by extreme liberals who know nothing of what's good for this country. How else do you explain Obama getting in? Save your pro-Obama junk. I'm not convinced. He should have never been elected in the first place. I wouldn't let him serve me French fries. That's what he's done to this country. To this country, not for this country. 4. Immediately terminate, that being not execution, no killing, but the removal from office. That's what I mean by terminate. Those that have made efforts that violate their oath of office. If you're an oath breaker, you're out. And at the same time, ordering the arrest of said politician, named above, to be tried as stated above by this law. 5. Suspend all foreign aid. Now, we do owe a debt to China. We should pay it. I'm not going to say we shouldn't. We should not renege on our deal. But this country is being strangled by debt. National debt grows all the time. All that foreign aid could be stopped, rechanneled into this country, hammering away at our debt, as well as funding the mental health system, funding institutions to house the dangerously mentally ill. And had such been done, I like to think those 26 lives lost in Newtown would not have been lost. There would not have been the gun massacre, but more importantly, those lives would not have been lost. Have something in place where if someone is as dangerous as Adam Lanza was, he wouldn't have a chance to have any interaction with guns. There could be social workers that look in on someone that dangerous. The mother knew he was dangerous and did nothing. She actually facilitated his crimes. And yeah, I know it's not right to talk bad against the dead. I don't care. What she did was completely inexcusable, completely irresponsible. She knew he was dangerous, and yet she taught him to use guns. She told babysitters, don't turn your back on him, don't even go to the bathroom, not even for a minute. Think! He should have been in an institution like that. And where were his doctors? Also, the financial situation didn't allow for him to be detected as dangerous. The man that shot at firefighters responding to a fire that he set because he wanted to go out doing the thing he loved, killing people. Should have been housed in a mental institution too. See, if we had that going on like we did a long time ago, the country would be a lot safer. We wouldn't have these massacres, more importantly, the lives that were taken. Now let's get the Aurora shooter, James Holmes. He would not have been able to do that either. And the rest of us law-abiding people wouldn't be feeling the pinch, but more importantly, those lives would be with us today. That's all I have for this act. I'd like a discussion if you'll join me. Let me know in the comments area. Do you agree, disagree? Be civil. Y'all have a nice day now.